Now we'll use the walk canvassing module to manage our walk for recruiting precinct captains. So we'll click walk canvassing. Now we need to add a new project. So we'll click add new target up here. Excuse the terminology that will be changing. We're going to change the name from primary target to recruit captains. And we can add a quick description. Now for printed walk packets, we have the option of changing the letters that print for the packet. So in this case, since we're not campaigning for votes, we're going to change this instead to yes, they'll volunteer, no they won't, and maybe they will. Then we also want to add some text at the bottom underneath each address where we can collect some additional information about them. And that again will print out on the printed walk packets. Now if we're going to use the walk app, we need to assign the groups that correspond to those answers so that the walkers can easily add them back. Now in the previous video we've set those groups up already, so you can see them listed here. So we're going to add yes, if those groups were not listed here, we would need to go over to group management on the main menu and first create those groups, then come back to our walk project here and assign them. You'll see when we get into the walk app why that is necessary. We also have the option of entering a script, and this script is accessible from the walk app for the volunteers to reference as needed. Once we have all the options set, we'll click save. And now we need to add the voters to our walk project here. So we'll click add to target. That's going to put us in the targeting section. In the previous video, we set up a group to hold all the voters that we wanted to target. So we can skip all of the options here because we already have our group that holds those specific voters. So all we're going to do is say keep only the members of the recruit captains group. And then we're going to go to walk canvassing, show options, save into, and select the walk project that we just created. We've now added all those voters into our walk target. If I click up here on the link, it's going to take us back to the list view where we can now see there's 1,554 voters in there. None of them have been assigned to walk packets, and none of them have been walked. Now, depending on how much you need to manage this, there's different levels that we can do for managing this walk. Currently, users could bring up the mobile walk app, which I'll bring into view here. And if they have the proper permissions, when they click walk canvassing and then targets, you can see the target that we've created and all the voters that have been assigned. They can bring up the map. In any area where they are, they can just go click on any pink marker, which represents an address that has a potential precinct captain there. And so the walkers can just go out without creating any packets and just walk wherever they are. Now, if you're going to have multiple walkers, then you're going to need to manage this a little bit more and actually cut the markers up into packets. So we can do that by going into map. And we can just zoom in on areas and start creating our packets. Again, there's other videos that demonstrate this specific technique, so I'll just go quickly. We'll just say we're going to include all of these here, as that looks like I've divided it pretty good into neighborhoods. And we'll submit that. And we can just call this whatever that area is there. I'll just name it Packet 1, but you would name it something a little more specific. Then we also have the option of assigning it to a specific person to take responsibility for completing that packet. However, in this particular instance, since we're not just walking for voters for an election, but we're actually walking for precinct captains, we may want to make sure we divide our packets up into specific precincts. So in that case, when we do the mapping, we may need to go to precincts, and now you'll see all the different precincts we're targeting, and then you can click the map symbol under total for that precinct number. So this is only going to map the targeted addresses for precinct 1.1. And now we'll just create packets for this particular precinct. So here I'll divide up what I think is a quick but fairly decent packet. I'll submit that. And I can provide this a name like precinct 1.1 packet 1. And again, I have the option to assign it to any of our registered users in webElect. And we would just repeat this process for each, all the pink markers in this precinct. Then when we're done with that precinct, we would close the list and click on the next map for precinct 2.1. In this case, there's only 46 addresses because this is a pretty rural area. So even then 46 may be too many, but for this purpose I'm just going to do all of them. Again, precinct 2.1. Close it, and repeat the process for each of these precincts. Now if I refresh this page, you can see the colors are starting to change, indicating our progress in each precinct. So yellow means that you've assigned addresses to a packet, and as we start walking those, you'll see them change to green. So to demonstrate how that works on the phone, I have been able to bring it up in a simulator here. So the walker would go on their phone, go to walk canvassing. Now you can see I've got 2 packets that have been assigned to me. I click on the packet that I want to walk. We can see there's 37 that I still have to do. I'm going to click map all since I'm not actually located in this area. Otherwise, if you do map near me, it's going to show you your location with the addresses close to you that need to be walked. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit closer. And as I visit each house, I'll tap the marker, it shows me the exact address. I tap the address, it shows me the voters there that are targeted. And then as I talk to each one and get their response, I can add them to the group. And as I'm done with that address, we can see the marker has now changed to gray. I'm going to do one more really quick here. Marker is also gray. And now you can see as I go back and refresh this count, it starts to show us the progress we're making. Same for on the website. If I refresh this page, we can now see there's a sliver of green there, and there's 2 that have been complete. So these bars will start to change to green as you complete each precinct.